like I said before, DC has all the characters, all the villains, all the storylines to be better than Marvel. Just give the creators the control. Listen to the fans. Give the fans what they want. Warner Brothers need to step back and shut up. You guys obviously don't know what you're doing because nothing you have done has worked.
Yeah.
The last topic of the night, Marvel versus DC. Do you think with the DCU having a soft reboot or a rebooting can be better than the MCU?
At this point?
Yeah, at this point, they're pretty much starting over.
So I know there's a lot of things that DC has not used. Like we were saying in one of our other episodes, DC still hasn't used Legion of Doom. There's a lot of characters that DC hasn't used. I'm trying to think of some characters off the top of my head. But a soft reboot for DC, yeah, I think that's especially right now, I think that's the best thing they could do.
Yeah.
Because it just feels like they have no direction on what they're doing. Like some of the movies, some of the, the standalone movies that they're doing, they've been good, but these team up movies have not really been any direction, haven't been doing much for them. I don't know what they're gonna do.
I think a lot of people really love DC Comics.
Oh yeah.
And they're really good. And shout out to my boy Colin. I'm gonna keep shouting him out. That's my guy. He's actually, I hope he hears this. He's actually a genius, bro. He gives me so many ideas. He hit me up on Twitter and just offer me ideas. He loves the show and he wants to see us grow and get better. So he offers ideas, and I keep telling him, bro, you have to start your own show too, or come on. But he's a little nervous right now. But he's a genius, bro. He's actually offered a lot of good ideas. So shout out to my boy Colin. But he was telling me he prefers DC over Marvel. I'm still a Marvel guy, but I do think if DC is done right, it could actually be better than MCU. And yeah, and offer at least because the MCU has been kind of lackluster lately. I think if the DCU can get on track, they could offer competition and push Marvel to be competitive again. Because right now they're running a market, bro.
Well, see, that's the thing too. At first, DC was trying to compete with Marvel, but Marvel was really like years ahead of DC. And that's where DC went wrong. Why would you try to? You just need to stay in your own lane, work on your own projects, work on whatever direction you're trying to go, and just stick to that. And then you would have made it a lot farther. And instead of the foolishness that they were doing, I don't know what they were doing, and that's why they didn't really get anywhere. Yeah. And that's why they have to fire these people, fire this cast, and pretty much right now burn it all down and start all over again.
I think the problem was, Marvel or the MCU went into this with a plan, with 8 to 10 year plan. I think with DC, they just jumped into it without a real direction, like you were saying. The DC characters, if you do them right, they have great stories. DC has amazing villains. They have Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. How can you fail with
Green Lantern?
You know what I mean? The Flash, Green Lantern,
Martian Manhunter,
dude, the Green Lantern Corps. Bro, the Green Lantern Corps can literally be like Star Wars type shit, bro. Cyborg, Robin.
Well, the thing is, DC shines with their TV shows. Like they've had their TV shows
animated. They're mainly the animated shows.
Animated, yeah.
But you're right. Yeah, you're right.
You think of shows like Gotham, Supergirl, the new Superman stuff that came out. That's where they shine.
Green Arrow, the Flash. Yeah.
Green Arrow.
But they need to.
Okay.
DC needs to take time. I think DC, where the advantage can be with DC is, they can make a lot more rated R content. Start off the universe rated R content for adult content because the MCU is kind of like family friendly, kid friendly. DC, fuck that shit. We need some rated R, like the Suicide Squads, the stuff like that, the Harley Quinns, I want to see a rated R Batman movie. The Joker was great. You know what I mean?
Think about how much more they could do if it's rated R. Think about how much more gory and violence they could bring if it's rated R. It could be more grittier. It could be more consistent with what's going on in the comics and the graphic novels. If they just just take the cap off and just go that route.
Bro, could you imagine a fleshed out Batman like Gotham? Just you have Batman, obviously have the Batman movies, but you have street level villains in Gotham, bro. Do you know how crazy that would be if they can tie that into the DCU?
Well, I think they were trying to go that route with the last Batman movie. Like it was a lot more grittier. Yeah. It was more consistent with the comics and like you're saying, more street level. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like the generation of Batman that we had before with Christian Bale even with Ben Affleck, where it's like you feel he's more heroic than like, an actual street level fighting villains that are street level, it's a lot less grittier.
Robert Pattinson actually did a really good job.
Hell yeah.
I know he gets a lot of like flags, but because of Twilight, but he's actually a really good actor.
Oh yeah, dude. There's some other movies that he's done that you got to check out.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, it's like the movies that aren't like blockbusters. He's in smaller movies that have been great, bro. He's a good actor, and I think the Batman would be a great start for this new DC. They could slowly bring in Superman, but DC just needs to take their time and flesh out the universe. Like just show. Don't rush. Give us some rated R content. Give us some dark content. Make it for adults. Like, cause that's something different than what Marvel does. Don't copy Marvel's blueprint.
Yep.
DC has all the characters, all the stories to actually be better than the MCU.
I feel like,
and I'm a Marvel guy saying this,
and I feel like we keep saying that villain, like DC villains to me, they're more iconic, especially on Batman's side. You have the Joker, you have the Penguin, you have Clayface, you have, Harvey Two-Face, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn. All these. Go ahead.
We held a poll a couple weeks ago. Who had the better villains, Spider-Man or Batman? I'm gonna see. I don't remember who won. I'm trying to check right now. I'm trying to hurry up. I think Batman. Yeah, Batman won. Who has the best villains? And it was Batman. Batman has amazing villains. His Joker may be the greatest villain
his
ever.
Villains are like doctors. They're educated people. They're rich and educated people. They're not just some Joe Schmoes off the street. Like they are, they have certain purpose. They have certain criteria in their lives that make them who they are. That's why those villains are so like engaging. That's why those villains are so like basically you just enjoy them.
Yeah, bro. Even like what's his name, Mr. Freeze,
the Doctor.
Shout out to Dr. Freeze. I mean, shout out to
Well, no. I'm just saying he is a doctor. Isn't he?
Yeah. He's a doctor. Yeah. He couldn't, but he's a villain because of his wife, bro. He's not just he's trying to help it. He doesn't give a. He's trying to help his wife. Yeah. He's doing things to try to help his wife. But yeah, I think DC has, if they just take their time, don't copy Marvel's blueprint. Make your own.
Stay in your own
Give
lane.
the creators the power to make the movies. Don't have the studios. Warner Brothers need to stop stepping in and trying to make decisions. Obviously, y'all don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
It's like the cash
grab.
Let
the creators.
They're trying to do that cash grab stuff. Like we were talking about in another episode, how like they basically cut the Justice League, that way they can show it in the movie theaters a lot more. The way they could try and make more money. But you have to make the movie make sense. It can't just be a production that, there's like the storyline is everywhere and you expect the viewer to understand it. I don't know why they did that.
I still remember when we went to go see Justice League, bro. Everybody in the theater was so disappointed.
I didn't know what was going on.
Like that shit was bad. It was bad, bro. And like I said before, DC has all the characters, all the villains, all the storylines to be better than Marvel. Just give the creators the control. Listen to the fans. Give the fans what they want. Warner Brothers need to step back and shut the fuck up. You guys obviously don't know what you're doing because nothing you have done has worked.
Yeah.
So stop. Man of Steel, I like Man of Steel, but they fucked over Man of Steel. They try to rush everything instead of fleshing out that character. Given like Man of Steel 2 never even freaking happened. Well, they're trying to say the sequel to Man of Steel was Batman vs Superman. That's stupid. That was dumb. But yeah, the DC, the studio and Warner Brothers ruined it. They trying to step in and do all this. You guys obviously don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You know why Marvel works? Because Kevin Feige is actually a fan.
Yeah.
He's actually a nerd.
And that's the thing. I feel like the team up of Justice League would have been more iconic if they did it right. The team up of Justice League would have been more iconic than Avengers.
No, yes. They could have literally did it like the TV show.
Exactly.
They could have like the animated TV series, literally.
Oh, that was one of the best things that they came up with. Justice League Unlimited. Who doesn't like those characters?
Everybody likes Batman. Everybody likes
Wonder Woman.
Everybody likes the Flash. Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Martian the Manhunter, Aquaman, Hawkman. Like those is never ending. Raven, Starfire, Robin,
the Teen Titans.
Everybody loves these characters. Yeah, I love the Teen Titans. I love Raven is a badass character. Boy, I tell you, she's one of my favorite characters.
Starfire.
But it's too many, bro. It's too many.
Yep.
And obviously Batman is one of my favorites. And I love all the Robins, the Nightwings, the Red Hood, Batgirl. I love all of it, bro. I love everything about Batman. So it's so many things they can do with DC. And to answer the question, I think DC could be better. I think the DCU can be better than MCU. But what I want to see is the DCU become better to have Marvel on its toes now. Now Marvel has competition. Now they have to make sure they're putting out the best product because some of their products recently have been lackluster. You're going to force them to be good again. You're going to force them to put out their best quality and their best efforts again because right now they're just running the market. They're running Hollywood. They're blockbuster films. What we need to get back to the humble market.
What we need to do is bring up those villains, man. Bring up the villains that way you can start having these storylines where the superheroes shine. Because the thing is this, what makes the heroes good are the intensity of the villains, of how good the villain is. Because no one wants a villain who's like easy to beat. Obviously, you don't want a villain like that. Because when the villain is great, bro, that gives the hero more potential to shine and do their thing and beat that villain. So I feel like Marvel, DC has a lot of untapped potential. If they tap into these different storylines, these different characters, all this stuff, I feel like they could give Marvel a run for their money.
And Marvel, they always mess up the villains, right? We've had Thanos, Killmonger, and Loki. And I mean, what other villain really stands out? They did my boy Ultron dirty. Ultron could have been way better. Loki's basically become a hero.
Yeah, they kill off the villains too fast.
Thanos is dead. Kang looks like he's going to be a good villain, but and Killmonger, which he was a normal human being. So, I can't say that because
you took the herb
Civil War.
Herb.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Civil War. Civil War. His name was just in my head.
Zemo?
Hold on. Yeah, Baron Zemo was a good villain. He's a very underrated villain. But other than that, Marvel has 30 plus films, TV shows, all this, probably in the 40s, 40 plus. And you got maybe 5 notable villains? I may be missing some. Correct me if I'm wrong. Colin, correct me if I'm wrong. But maybe you got 5 good villains
from Marvel.
All of that. Yeah, in the MCU film wise, I may be missing some. I didn't think this through before I started talking about it, but Yeah, I mean, those are 5 that stood out to me. The rest, I mean, don't really. They haven't had what. I mean, Thor had Loki, but other than that, what villain has Thor really had? I like
Here's one that I'm thinking of, and then we probably gotta end it. So I remember I was listening to another, basically a rerun of a podcast I've heard a bunch of times. But the question was this: who's a better villain, Thanos or Joker? And I was thinking to myself, I was like, well, yeah, to me, it's obvious. It's Joker.
It's Joker, bro. It's not even close. Joker is a fucking crazy, psychotic asshole. No one knows his real origin.
Exactly.
Like, dude is just fucking crazy. He tortures Batman. He kills people. He'll kill Lois Lane and Superman's son just to get at Superman.
And the thing is this.
He does little crazy shit like
the Joker is the best villain for the type of person that Batman is. He's trying to get him to the point to where he just wants him to break his code. He's like, oh, I know you won't
kill him. Wants to.
I know you won't kill, but that's why he's trying to play he's got, he's in his mind. He's trying to get him to break down. He's trying to basically destroy him as a person, to go up against everything, all his morals, all the things that he believes. Whereas Thanos is doing what he thinks is right for the better of the universe, which is still, obviously the way he goes is, evil. We see as evil, but he feels as good, but he's still trying to prove some type of point and have some type of purpose there.
Yeah, actually, in the movies did Thanos justice because they kind of fleshed out the character a little bit. In the comics, he literally did it because he was in love with death.
Yeah, that's true.
He wanted to marry death.
That's true. Yeah.
So he was just doing stupid shit. He just wanted to get laid, bro. He's just doing dumb shit for a female. That's stupid. I'm glad they changed that up.
That would, I'm glad that wouldn't have made sense in the movies.
That'd have been stupid. But Thanos in the movies is very iconic, but he doesn't see himself as a villain. Yeah. The Joker knows he's a villain.
He knows he's messed up. Yeah, he knows he's toxic,
and especially
he knows he's messed up. He knows he's got issues, but he embraces that. That's a lot of things.
You know the special thing about the Joker character is he's different. He's a different character every time someone new plays him.
Yeah,
it's a completely different Joker. The Joker is different in every TV show. He's different in every video game. He's the same character, similar but different. Joaquin Phoenix is different from Heath Ledger. It's like they're completely two different Jokers, but they're two amazing Jokers. What's the dude in the 90s? His name just slipped. He's always at the Lakers game.
Oh, Jack Nicholson.
Slipped on my head. Jack Nicholson. Amazing Joker. But he's different than the other two. But they're all iconic. The only one that fucked it up is
Jared Leto. There's some
I don't blame him. I don't put 100% of that on.
Yeah, there's some similarities in between the Jokers. Being crazy, being toxic, whatever. But each one of them takes the way that they think the Joker should be portrayed, and they do it their own, and they do it amazingly. Not talking about Jared Leto, but each one of them did a good job with the Joker, and it basically just brought, like you were saying, same character but just a different way,
different iteration, but. It's crazy how one character can be completely different, a different interpretation of the character every time a new actor plays him. But
that's the way they see it.
When they do it right.
That's the way they see it.
Yeah, when they do it, if you do it right, it can be iconic in its own way.
Maybe for each actor, it's maybe some type of thing they unlock in their mind of how they see the Joker, how it should be painted.
How they interpret him to be.
Maybe it's some type
recognize the Joker.
I don't know. Maybe something repressed. Because when we're thinking of Heath Ledger, obviously the darker sides of him getting into the role of becoming the Joker. Maybe there was something deep down inside there where he had to draw it out in order to be that version of the Joker. Maybe the same thing for Joaquin Phoenix.
They did completely because Joaquin Phoenix Jokers just slowly became evil. Yeah. Like he just it slowly started to happen. Yep. It was meant more of he was more of had a mental mental health issues, mental illness. But Heath Ledger's Joker was just, he was pure evil, but it was out of excitement, and he wanted to prove a point. I actually wrote a paper about this in my class, literally like last week, about how the Joker, in The Dark Knight, how he had two ships.
Mm-hmm.
He had them both rigged to blow up if one of the ships pushed the button anyway. And he was trying to prove a point to how how people don't care about ethical reasoning if their lives are in danger. You got a ship full of convicts. You got a ship full of hardworking people. And obviously you would think, well, those people are convicts. Let's blow them up. We're doing the right thing. But would that make you better? Would that make you any better than the convicts?
That's true.
Yeah. Right? And the convicts, you would think the convicts would be like, man, fuck those people. Blow them up. But they didn't. And the Joker was like, damn, that's crazy. Like, they really mind fucked them. So I think that was interesting. He was just playing mind games with people. He wasn't really a scary physical threat. It was just the mind games he played with. That's
what I was saying. Like, he's the best villain for Batman because he understands kind of like how to get inside of his head, how his brain works, because Batman obviously has dealt with trauma. He's dealt with the loss of his parents, all that stuff, and kind of like being that dark, brooding figure in that character with everything he's gone through. The Joker, he plays into that, and he tries to attack his mind rather than attack him physically. Because the thing is this, you could beat someone. Once you get into their head, you already win.
Yeah. There's no world where the Joker could physically beat Batman.
No.
But he just mentally fucks with him. Like, the Joker to Batman is like that one person that could irk you and piss you off.
Exactly.
It's like, you might be a cool, calm, collected person, but it's always that one person who knows which button to press to piss you the fuck off. And that's the Joker.
You know what the thing is?
To Batman.
They need each other. Just like in The Killing Joke. Have you ever seen that movie? They need each other. Batman needs Joker. Joker needs Batman.
Yeah.
They kind of give each other purpose. They kind of give each other reasoning for doing what they do.
Yeah. And the sad thing about it is they're really friends. Like, low key, you know what I mean? Like, your worst enemy is your best friend.
They know each other.
That's
best.
crazy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think they got to. Honestly, I think the Joker's in love with Batman.
It's kind of like
he's in love with the idea of.
I guess
Batman.
A better analogy. Have you seen Lego Batman? Yeah, it's kind of like that because the Joker was. I guess the Joker was upset that he thought he was Batman's like biggest villain, like his his villain, and Batman was like, "No, you're not my worst villain," or whatever. Yada yada yada. So he was kind of hurt by that. But,
yep. Yeah, that's weird, bro. They got a weird relationship, but to end it, DC, I do believe the DCU or the DCEU, whatever the hell they call it now,
DCEU
can be better than the MCU. Yeah, they can be better than the MCU,
yeah.
But give the creators control.
Yes.
Studio heads, leave them alone. Let them create it. Let them do what they want to do to create a great product for the fans. Because Kevin Feige, his process worked because he's a nerd. He's a fan of these characters. You don't have studio heads jumping and telling what he can and can't do. Let the creators create.
Yeah, because the thing is this. Marvel has already shown us the best of what they could do, in my opinion. We've already lived through the hypes of like from Iron Man all the way to Endgame. What was that? 10 years in the making? About 10 years in the making?
Yeah.
So we've already seen like
years,
the highs, as far as I'm not gonna say that like they don't have potential down the road and that they can't do some great products down the road. I'm just saying like we've been wrapped up in a whirlwind for over 10, 12 years now. So the thing is this, DCU has still a lot of untapped potential in order to make some great movies. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting on them to do it right.
And they need to be decisive.
Yes.
They need to be decisive. They keep wanting to change.
Pick a direction and just go with it.
This. Yeah, pick a direction. Go with it. Believe in your product. Don't have too many hands in the pot. Don't have too many hands in the cookie jar. Let the creators create. Give them the money to make the projects they want to. Have a blueprint. Have a 10-year plan of where you want to be, and let the creators get you there.
And bring in some of these genius directors. You see all these directors out here. Let someone who you wouldn't expect to do a superhero movie, let them do a movie and let them surprise you.
Marvel's done that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. Marvel's done that. You know, they created a lot of Marvel directors are homegrown. Like they were unknown really before they became big MCU directors and producers. So they homegrown their talent. They find, because you know the thing about Kevin Feige and his team, they enjoy great cinema. Yeah. So they'll watch these little movies or TV shows and like, man, who made this? I want them to come to the MCU. Where the DCU has Warner Brothers that probably doesn't watch any of the shows, any movies. They just care about the money and all this bullshit. They're not really paying attention. They're not paying attention to what's really going on.
Yeah,
so they're out of touch. Get some people that are in touch.
Exactly, and they should produce so much more stuff. Warner Brothers, just need to sit back and just let people do their thing.
I agree, brother.